AI is absolutely cooking us. I initially started off as a skeptic and only used AI through the chat interface, here and there fixing a bug or two. And over time, maybe like 2 years ago, I started embracing it more, using tools like Cursor and Claude Code and anti-gravity, whichever is cheaper at the moment. That's how you should do it. Just get whichever there's a deal on, because usually there's a deal on one of these. But now I feel like I'm at a point in my career where these models are getting so good. And there's a rumor also that Sonnet 5 is dropping in the next couple of days, so I'll make a video on that. But they're getting so good that it's actually changing everything about how I make content and tutorials and courses and whatever. One of the biggest pain points in my life was making really nice illustrated animations. And now it's all possible, like with Opus 4.5, if you add the skills to it as well, and a tool like Remotion, it's unbelievable what you can generate. So that's what I want to test here to see kind of how much we can get out of these tools. But initial impressions, I'm just blown away. An animation like this that shows linear regression would literally take me a week to make. And now that you can just programmatically do it and get it done in a couple of minutes is just a bit insane. And I feel like I'm at a point in my life now where I just want to fully embrace it. I honestly feel like you just gotta let that part of yourself go a little bit where I'm writing all the code. I want to do everything. And this just starts becoming really fun again if you do that, if you manage to do that. And I feel like I did that recently. So anyway, let's try out. I want to see how far I can take these animations and kind of what we can do about it, because it's going to be a really, really helpful tool for me personally for content creation. If you want to follow along, what essentially you want to do, whichever editor you have, whether that's anti-gravity or Claude Code, find the way you can add skills to your agent, and then simply head over to skills.sh here, and then we're going to search up Remotion. So Remotion best practices, it's got 60K installs. You want to npx install this in the project that you're working in, and I did mine here. I'll show you. If I head over here, we have agent rules, and this is all the different MD files it created for me. So working with video, how sequencing works, parameters, just all the best practices for Remotion. Once you have this, you can start prompting. For the first example, I just wanted to see if this even is going to work in the first place for me. So I thought it would be a good idea to do kind of the 7 pillars of web accessibility, like contrast, keyboard navigation, focus, yada yada, all of these stuff, and just create me a nice animation so we can visualize all of these. And I think I did a really good job. This is a one-shot here. So let's have a look. So as you can see, we have color contrast, so it's kind of a web browser simulation, and then we have the number here increasing, showing when the contrast is fine. And then it does one for color independence. I really like how it made this problem, why, solution, and then result as well. Really cool animations. And then this shows the keyboard navigation when it's not working. That's really hard to see. So it highlights it nicely there with the ring as well. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. As you can see, the code examples as well with nice fade-ins. So having this as a starting point is crazy. It's actually crazy that you can get something like this done in just a couple of minutes. And from this here, you can just simply render it out as an MP4, and then you can do kind of an overlay on top of it to have a like talk over the slides, right? Or whatever you want to do. I'm also working on some tutorials that teach you how to do classic ML techniques like linear regression. So I thought this would be the perfect tool to kind of give it a try and see if it actually helps me out. Similar to 3 blue, 3 brown, 3.2 brown, what's his name? 0 cups, 2 girls, that's not it. But we'll try to create that sort of animation. Now he does it, if I believe, in something called Manim with Python, but I'm curious to see if this comes any close. But one problem I'm having is, whilst everything looks really nice, you still have to kind of understand the things that you want to show and research about them to show it off the best way possible. What I'm meaning by that is we have gradient descent, right? And this is the animation it made. Again, whilst it looks great, And you're like, whoa, wait, I blinked. Hold on, I didn't even get to see what happened. And the whole animation is done, and then it's like 10 seconds of nothingness. See? Keeps going. So that's the animation they gave me, and they gave a pretty good description of what a linear descent is. But I feel like, again, this example illustrating how like you're basically trying to get the like smallest error, or the what you call it, the loss function, right? It's basically finding the bottom of the slope. So you want to get the value all the way down. But it just goes so fast that you don't even know like what's going on at all. And also I feel like gradient descent could be illustrated a bit better in 3D. So I need to reprompt it and tell it all of these things. Okay, I'm running into some issues again. So I'm not by any chance an expert on machine learning, but I've been learning a little bit about it. I've been reading some books. And here's the problem. I don't think this is correct in the first place. So I'm trying to show gradient descent here, and you basically have an alpha, right? That's like your learning rate, and then you assign a number to that. So in this case, it's like 0.15. And basically, you find the bottom of the loss function here. And you should get a decent result with that, 0.15. But what I want to illustrate here is that if you put the learning rate too small, that it's going to take forever for it to find it, right? And so this is running for like 20 seconds. But then I did the high learning rate here, and I have it at 0.8, and it just goes out of frame like that, see? And that's true. Like if you put the learning rate really high, it could actually diverge and go in the other direction and just never find the bottom of the slope. But I have it at 0.8, so that should actually oscillate and still bounce a lot, but it would eventually still need to find the bottom. It would just maybe take a long time. So it just did it incorrectly here. I noticed something quite interesting. I'm using Opus 4.5 here, and these LLM models are great, but sometimes they still lose context, so you have to be really aware. And what I'm meaning by that is this whole explanation here is revolved around linear regression, essentially, right? But the gradient descent example it gave me, as you can see, it basically has two slopes here. But for linear regression, the shape would be, what's the word I'm looking for? Convex, right? It would just have like one global like minimum point. It would just basically have one slope like this, not any local minimum points. But by the time it got to the gradient descent example, it just forgot, and it probably just found one online, and it was like, yeah, this will do. This is a good example. You know how I know? Because I found this bloody example. Look at this. If I search gradient descent, look, doesn't that kind of look similar? This little GIF video here with the two minimum points and the same kind of colors. Ooh, don't look at that. Ignore that. But yeah, doesn't that look just really similar? So I wish in the perfect world it would have got that it should just be like that, the shape. But that's why it's kind of good to know a little bit about what you want to teach, so you can actually illustrate it correctly. I honestly can't believe this. This is just getting better and better. The more I prompt it and kind of adjust it to the way I want it, it just does it perfectly. It's fantastic. I'm also at a point where I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to write all of this out? All these different vector calculations here? This would take ages to do, at least a week to get these animations up and running. We'll do one more example here. One thing I really wanted to do on YouTube for the longest time was making Arduino tutorials, but I never ended up making them because I always dreaded making the animations for it, because you need like really nice animations with clear explanations. How current flows, you know, what's a voltage, how the resistor affects the current and everything. So just kind of making the animations for that sounded like a nightmare. So I'm gonna prompt it and we'll see if it's good or not. Okay, I finished rendering this out. This is crazy. I can't believe we are in this stage of our life that these LLMs are getting so good. Now, it's not perfect. Like here, the text should not be on top of that and whatever, so you can reprompt it and make it a little bit better. But I can imagine where we're going to be in a year or two with how fast everything is going. And this is like usable. This is a point where it's usable. It showed me how to make a resistor, like how the resistor works, how the breadboard works, how you can hook up circuits as well, what's an Arduino. Look at that. It even does like code animations here and which line you are on. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Um, yeah, I'm gonna play more around with this, and you're probably gonna see a lot of tutorials that are gonna start implementing this. So let me know if you enjoyed this episode, and let me know if you tried out Remotion with an LLM model. I'm curious to see what you have to say. Really appreciate you if you click all the magical buttons below, like the subscribe one mainly. That'd be really nice. And yeah, I'll catch you guys soon.